everybody, Greater Jim from Heck Yeah, You Can Cook, and today we're going to be making, as part of my Cooking 101, pork chops. In the oven, baked, simple recipe. Wanted to just show some people some basic things. This kind of ties into some of my spice episodes, which I just did of what you need in your pantry, because you never know what kind of day you're going to have. You come home, a little rushed, a little tired. You don't want to have to hunt down your favorite seasoning. You can go and grab these seasonings real quick. They're in your pantry all the time. And you can make this dish rather fast and rather quickly. Now, before we get started, I'd like everyone to please like, share, and subscribe. We love getting new subscribers every day. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, and of course, we're also have a Facebook group. So please join us there at Heck Yeah, You Can Cook. Today, with the tools you're going to need a large chef knife because there's a little bit of chopping. Most important thing you need is you're going to need some measuring spoons because you'll be laying out some teaspoons and tablespoons here in a second. And I also use a paring knife for this. You can use any knife really, but I find it works well with what we're going to do. And you're going to need, now I'm using my Pampered Chef Iron skillet. Any medium 2.5, 3-quart baking pan would work. This is my cast iron baking pan from Pampered Chef. I find it works real well when you're working with just one cut of meat. And I like the way it heats evenly in there. You don't have to use that. Any glass baking dish, 2.5 to 3-quart size will work fine. For the ingredients today, now I've got 1.5 pounds of boneless, just under 1.5 pounds boneless pork chops. This came out to $5.99. It was on sale, but pretty good deal here. This is boneless pork chops. We also have 1/2 of a yellow Vidalia onion rough cut. If you don't have one, substitute onion powder or a teaspoon of onion powder for that, but it cooks really well with this and has a little caramelization and flavor to the baked pork chops, which is what you want. Now, we're also going to need a little spray olive oil. I have got 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar right here that we're going to use in just a minute. I've got about a tablespoon of black pepper. We're not going to use all this, but I like to be able to use a pinching method of it. And I don't want to put any back, so that's why I make sure I have that. We also have a tablespoon of salt. The same thing, we're going to pinch that off and put that on the pork in just a little bit. Got my spray honey here. Squeeze honey. I don't know why I said spray honey. That would be interesting. Got spray oil, squeeze honey. We're going to add that. We've got 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, okay? I've got 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of cumin. Got your pork chops, got your plate, got your onions. We went ahead and chopped that. That took about 3 minutes, and this is, folks, this is rough cut, almost sliced. You're not making anything pretty here. It's just adding flavor to the dish. Quickly, and we're also going to need a probe thermometer. I may have mentioned that out. While you're getting ready the pork chops, preheat your oven to 375 degrees on the roast setting. You can use the bake setting if you don't have that, but I just find the roast setting works a little bit better for this dish. Now, we got the oven preheating. We've got our probe thermometer set for pork, which is 160. You can go a little less if you like, but I'm going to stick with 160. I've got my pork chops right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this knife and I'm going to score it 3 places, making slits almost all the way through the meat. And what that's going to do is allow the flavors to get in, all right, and help cook the pork a little bit quicker as well. I don't do both sides. Some people do. I find that redundant. I just kind of go almost all the way through where the slit is just like this, okay? Now, here comes the fun part. We're going to simply add seasonings to this. Now, I'm not going to show you all of it. We're just going to do maybe 1 pork chop here in that sequence. Now, I always like to put my black pepper on first. Make sure I don't put it on too heavy. It's real light coat of black pepper. Then we add the salt across the top. Normally, I do all 3 pieces, but we're just going to show 1 and save some time in the video. After the salt, a little bit of the paprika. A little bit of the garlic, and a little bit of the cumin. And because there are 2 sides to every story, you flip it and repeat. Okay, we've got everything prepared here. I washed my hands after rubbing in all the meat. So we're going to go ahead and start the process of getting this ready to cook in the oven. All right, once again, the oven's going to 375 in the bake setting. What I like to do here is I make a bed with these onions, okay? This is an aromatic root vegetable. I'll add flavor from the bottom and the top. Make a little bed. Then I spray a little bit of the olive oil right on top. Not too heavy, just cut it a little bit. Now if you remember the pork chops, we'll put slits in it. Now I rotate over, so we're going to now want to move the slits to the top side and set it right on those onions. Now that we've washed our hands and set the pork plate out of the way, we then add just the rest of the onions right to the top. And then this is when I take the apple cider vinegar, lightly drizzle it right on top. We take the squeeze honey, counteracting that, drizzle it right on top. Now that we've got that done, I take the olive oil, a little light spray across the top, throw the thermometer into the middle center piece, the thickest cut, not too far, and we set it to 160. You can go a little less if you like, but I just want to make sure I have my pork chops done, so I always like to cook mine to 160. You put it in the oven, done. We'll come back and check on it. Notice how quick this prep was. You can come home on a weeknight, have these pork chops thawed out in the refrigerator, ready to go. No time at all. Cooking 101, heck yeah, you can do it. We'll be back in a minute to see the finished pork. The thermometer has gone off. Something I forgot to mention, get your tongs. Ta-da! Heck yeah. All right, folks, you're gonna take the onions, kind of sweep them off. There you go, folks, all the way around. Set that over here to cool. We're gonna let that rest. Take these onions, stir them up. Gonna get that little bit of honey in the side there. We're gonna let this cool as well. And what I'll do is I will pour this off. And when we plate the pork, which we'll have a picture of, what I'll do is put that right on top. That juice is right on top of the pork. There you go, folks. The picture will be at the end. I'm going to serve this with my roasted butternut squash. Check that recipe out. Heck yeah, you can cook. Cooking 101. Everyone have a wonderful day.